A large crowd was on hand to greet the First Lady when she landed at the Westmoreland County Airport. Rosalind Carter spoke briefly with Carter Mondale supporters there to welcome her, then moved to a news conference where she defended her husband's decision to remain in the White House during the campaign.
He is making those decisions. He suffers with the people, and I do too. And I'm out there every day, and I can tell him the reaction that I get from people and what the concerns are. I do not think that he will leave the White House as long as there's no change in the hostage situation.
Mrs. Carter says the administration is hopeful about recent hostage developments, but emphasizes the administration has not apologized to Iran for anything and has the right to take action if the situation does not improve.
Last week, tell them that if they did not take further positive steps soon, that he would take further measures against them. He reserves the right to do that if the positive steps now do not materialize.
The First Lady says the President is aware of the economics problems besetting the steel industry and housing industries in Pennsylvania and is meeting weekly with advisors on them. And in obvious reference to Senator Kennedy, Mrs. Carter said it's easy for other candidates to talk about wage and price controls when they don't have to work with Congress. In a reception later, Mrs. Carter repeated the President's opposition to wage and price controls, saying they would create a cumbersome inflationary bureaucracy. Next, Mrs. Carter traveled to Jeannette for a tour of the Jeannette Sheet Glass Corporation, now owned by its employees, who bought it after its shutdown. Mrs. Carter toured the plant, then took off for a stop in Johnstown. So it seems, according to Mrs. Carter, that the President will remain in the White House and off the campaign trail in Pennsylvania as long as the hostage crisis in Iran continues. And Pennsylvanians will be seeing a lot more of Mrs. Carter and Vice President Walter Mondale before the April 22nd primary. This is Sally Wiggin reporting.